I know you probably clicked on this video expecting me to complain and whine about Ryu and how strong he is. After all, he is widely considered to be one of the strongest characters in the game, top 5 if not top 3 at least, and he is one of the most successful characters in this Pro Tour season of Street Fighter 6, but I don't think Ryu himself is the problem. I personally believe that Ryu is often an indication of the state of the game. Hey guys, MC Mura here, and I really wanted to talk about this issue with Street Fighter 6, because when we talk about Street Fighter 6, there's a lot of unhappy folks about the meta, the state. Some people hate throw loop, some people hate drive rush, but I do think there is a far bigger issue with Street Fighter 6, a core problem in my opinion, which is that everyone is just too damn strong. The power level in this game is actually kinda crazy. This is a game where someone can throw a forward moving plus on block heavy normal leading to unscaled combos and you lose 60%. You can get hit by a random drive rush overhead and lose 50% because of it. But before I start, I wanted to talk about one move that I really like, and it's called the Godfist. And no, it's not this actually like really cool and balanced one. I'm talking about this one. In the context of any fighting game, the Shoto heavy punches is actually crazy cracked. Let's talk about Ryu specifically. This move is 10 frame startup, which is decently fast. It is 5 frames active and it only have 18 recovery frames. That is actually kind of crazy when you consider that it have less recoveries than all of his other normals while also being fully special cancelable. And by the way, this move has a gigantic cancel window, meaning that Ryu can very easily hit confirm it. Not that he kinda have to, Ryu can do combos on block anyways. This move also happens to be completely safe on block at -2, so they don't even have to cancel, and because it have a ton of active frames, it can also be very easily timed to be plus on block as well. This move also is naturally +4 on hit, so if it happened to counter hit, which may happen a lot because it's very active, it is gonna be +6, so he get combos to mediums, unscaled to a lot of damage, and obviously on a punish counter, it's gonna combo into like even better buttons like a crouching medium kick. Now in any context, this sounds like an absurdly good move, especially when you consider that Ryu's far range heavy punch was never special cancelable in the prior Street Fighter games. In Street Fighter 2 it wasn't special cancelable, in Street Fighter Alpha it wasn't special cancelable, in Street Fighter 3 it wasn't special cancelable, in Street Fighter 4 it wasn't special cancelable, in Street Fighter 5 they made it special cancelable on the last patch of the game because they were desperate in trying to make Ryu viable. And in all of these other games, Ryu pretty much had to get in, get up close and use his close range heavy punch if he wanted a cancel into a special move. What this meant for the most part, and this was generally like the direction of the games back then, is that you had to be really close to have access to that huge damage. Unlike Street Fighter 6, where a whiff punish half screen away standing heavy punch can lead to 60% gone from the opponents. Again, this is not like a Ryu specific problem, but it is an indication of the overall direction of the game. Big damage comes far easier than it used to in the prior games. All of this, and I haven't even talked about the Street Fighter 6ism about this move, because remember, this is a heavy that deals an absurd amount of drive ship damage. It can be cancelled into a medium kick, donkey kick, and that sequence is a block string so the opponent can't mash, and it sets up a spacing trap and it destroys over 1 tick of bar from the opponent. And this move also, because it's heavy and it's a special cancelable, you can cancel it into a drive rush and the opponent can't even try to DBO, because if they do, Ryu will be able to block in time, and obviously this opens the door for like drive rush cancels into overheads that will deal massive damage as well. All of this, and I haven't even mentioned the fact that Ryu obviously have other tools like the solar plexus, which is frame 1 proximity block inducing plus on block forward moving heavies that leads to full unscaled combos, and crouching medium kicks which have absurd range in this game, also drive rush cancelable, so you never have to confirm in a game where back walk speeds are generally nerfed and much weaker than forward walk. What I'm trying to say is that the game is far too explosive and big damage damage comes from pretty much any opening, and that reduces the number of interactions between the players. Hey there, hope you're enjoying the video. If you're liking the video so far but you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I mean, we got an amazing team going up. Join the Mura's EX Men. We even got like the Emma and Magneto combo, so you know we're gonna dominate. Excuse the silliness and enjoy the rest of the video. I mean, for God's sake, in this game, Zangief will KO you in 3 command grabs. 3! You just blocked and you died because you blocked 3 times. That is actually crazy. We have a character like Lily who have her OD Counter Spire. It's a 9 frame, 3 hitting move, so you can't even armor it, plus on block, projectile invul move that gets her up close, and then she have a command grab that does like 25% or more, and she is widely considered to be one of the weaker characters in the game. We have a character like Ed who have every single one of his mediums and heavies for godforsaken reason being special cancelable. And because everything is special cancelable and everything is mostly safe, and the level 3 supers which pretty much exaggerate all of the problems that Street Fighter 6 have, leading to a ton of damage, this leads to very few interactions between the players. And this is something that is really, in my opinion, like the main issue. People get throw looped because they are afraid if they got shimmied, they're gonna explode. That is the real issue in my opinion. Like, let's take this situation where we have Cammy and we have Ryu, and Cammy have about 50% life lead, right? And you may think this is a good situation for Cammy, right? Wrong. They're actually even. Like, back then you would understand that there is something called win condition. Okay, the Ryu needs something big, so maybe the Ryu is looking to get a jump in because he needs to get up close and deal that big damage, which obviously if he gets a jumping combo he KOs. That's fair. Maybe Ryu would try to be sneaky and go for a dash and surprise the Cammy who doesn't react to the dash, get counter hit, and then he gets a combo. That is fair. So the Cammy had to play around these 2 big openings and really like denies them from the Ryu. But in Street Fighter 6, she just could simply get tagged by a crouching medium kick that the Ryu didn't confirm, get comboed and pretty much get KO'd. Ryu can drive rush overhead from half a screen away, and if he happened to land the hit, he still gets the KO. And obviously if she tried to throw a button and she ran into like a buffer or a whiff punish, I mean, she also is done. What I'm trying to say is how you actually get the opening, how you access the big damage is way too easy in Street Fighter 6, and you get it from tools that are too easily to access. Like, for example, the overheads, right? Overheads have always existed in Street Fighter games, right? And yes, in some older games, sometimes some characters, which were exceptions by the way, were able to get combos out of their overheads, right? And they could get decent damage out of them. But they were exceptions, not the rule. For the most part, overheads didn't really lead to that much. And here's the kicker, they were never bloss on block. Like, the fact that you can get hit by an overhead from half a screen away that is bloss on block, so you still have to eat a mix, and that overhead leading to mediums that will lead to combos that are unscaled. That is actually crazy. Like, do you see, if you're watching any of the pro Street Fighter tournaments, are you seeing how much Ryu gets value out of his drive rush overhead? Again, this is not like a Ryu rant specifically, but I think we need to bring the power down a little bit. I understand. People will say, Mura, buff, don't nerf, which is the mentality that I think is the reason that Street Fighter 6 is the way that it is right now. But sure, buff, don't nerf, whatever. But I want more interaction between the characters. I want rounds that feels more interactive. I don't want 2 touches to be common. It used to be hype if someone, like, we used to make fun of, oh my god, look at what Abigail is doing. But everyone is Abigail in Street Fighter 6. Like, Bison, you get tagged once by like a jump in and a bomb, and if you happen to get strong or get hit by an overhead, you die. Is that normal? Like, that is the main reason. It's not drive rush, it is not throw loops, it's not the neutral. I think all of this is fine. I think the game is just far too explosive. I know that Capcom added mechanics like the drive impact, and drive impact is probably why these heavy cancelable normals exist. fine, but at least there need to be some scaling. I would love to see more interactions between the players in rounds, especially once we get to round 3, and again, especially because level 3s are just damage dumps that swing rounds heavily and pretty much leads to any touch dealing massive damage existing, and there's like zero decision making with them as well. It's like you don't have to use your meter or anything else for like the vast majority of the roster, so it leads to every touch being so much damage, especially once you get to level 3 and once we get to round 3 of the fight. The game just becomes absurdly volatile. So I don't think it's an issue of how easy it is to force the game plan on someone. I think it's mostly the issue of just how rewarding everything is. And I find it hilarious that meterless DPs is where Capcom draws a line, like no, that is too overpowered. But having plus on block, forward moving, half screen leading, 50% of your life destroying, overhead is fine. It's actually kind of crazy. What are your thoughts? Do you think that Street Fighter 6 needs its power level to be brought down a little bit? Do you think the game is fine the way it is? I would love to hear your thoughts all about it in the comment section below. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.